Hello everyone, welcome to Mastermind. In this video, let us discuss seven most important questions from the chapter called as the defense of nation. The defense of the nation. This is from class 9th state textbook geography. So it is a social studies part 2. In that there is the chapter 22 which is on defense of the nation. So we'll be discussing the MCQs from that particular chapter, but in a little more detail also. Let us start with the first question. Consider the following about Indian defense of the nation. Indian defense of the nation. First one, the Chief of Naval Forces is known as General. The Chief of Army is known as Admiral. The Chief of Air Force is known as Air Chief Marshal. The Chief of Air Force is known as Air Chief Marshal. Now here the answer is A, 3 only, because only the third statement is correct. First thing is, why should India have the army? That is because we have land border itself of around 15,200 kilometers plus. This is our land border, and also you can look at our sea border also, which is 7,516.5 kilometers. So this is the border in the sea. So in all of this border, there is no one nation which is on the border. There are many nations, and our interactions with all the nations are very different. So because of all those things, India is one of the biggest country here in Asia, right? So because of that, to our border countries, India is also known as Big Brother. So though the countries are there, there are some disturbances. For example, with China on one side, with Pakistan on one side, and sometimes with the filtrations from the side of Bangladesh as well. So because of this, we have to secure our borders. Along with that, there should not be external aggression towards us, and because of that also we have to be taking care of securing our borders. And because of that only, we have all the three forces, the main three forces. One is army, we have navy, we have the air force. As the name says, army is for the land, air force is to protect us from the air attacks also, and in the navy to protect us from the water attacks or from the coast. Okay, so to protect us from the coast. So this is from water. So they are headed by the chief. But for all of this, for army, navy and air force, there is one person who is always commander in chief. For army also, for navy also, and for air force also. Who is the commander in chief of all these three divisions? It is the President of India. President of India is the commander in chief for all the three divisions. So after them, there will be chief in case of army, there will be chief in case of naval forces, and there will be chief in case of air force also, that is Air Chief Marshal. So in case of army, the chief is known as general. In case of navy, they are known as admiral. In case of air force, they are known as Air Chief Marshal. Okay. Along with that, in 2001, Chief of Integrated Defense Staff, CIDS was formed. Chief of Integrated Defense Staff for better management of all three services. Along with that, in 1999, there was a report by Kargil Review Committee. They had recommended the creation of post called as CDS, which is Chief of Defense Staff, for better coordination between the Army, Navy and Air Force. So on the same lines, on the same group of ministers, what the government had done was that the government had created integrated defense staff, defense staff in 2001 2002, and which would eventually serve as the chief of defense staff's secretariat. Along with that, in 2012 there was Naresh Chandra committee. They recommended the appointment of permanent chairman of the chiefs of staffs, permanent chairman of the chief of staffs. And on the same lines, in 2019 CDS, or chief of the defense staff, was created on the recommendation of the defense expert, and it was headed by Lieutenant General D.B. Shekatkar. Very, very important name, D.B. Shekatkar. So, on the recommendation of D.B. Shekatkar, in 2019, Chief of Defence Staff also was created. And who was the first Chief of Defence Staff in India? They were General Bipin Rawat. The General Bipin Rawat. They were appointed on 31st December 2019. Just before the new year, they were appointed. So, 31st December 2019. Okay, so these are some of the important information which you have to remember. So we are relating this concept with the current affairs also, and we are discussing. So recently in 2022, that is in October 2022, Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan. So Lieutenant General Anil Chauhan, they were appointed as the new Chief of Defence Staff. Second question, which of the following pairs about Indian Army is incorrect? So they have given Western Command, they have given Eastern Command, Northern Command, and the Southern Command. So these are factual questions, but we'll be discussing a little about the chapter. In the chapter, whatever they have given, about that also we'll be discussing. Here, the answer is C, Northern Command. So, Northern Command. So the Northern Command is not in Lucknow, it is in Udhampur. It is in Udhampur, which is in Kashmir. Udhampur in Kashmir. Now, in case of Indian Army, we'll again take the help of our old friend, which is the spider diagram, and we will look at the points. So in case of Indian Army, the headquarters of Indian Army, where is the headquarters of Indian Army? It is in New Delhi. Headquarters of Indian Army is in New Delhi. Now it is headed by Commander-in-Chief. We have seen that. And then they also have the Deputy Commander-in-Chief. They have General, Major General, Brigadier, Military Secretary, and a military engineer in order to assist them in the work. The army consists of infantry, cavalry, tank regiments, and these are all are called as armed corps, and the gunners regiment. There is a supply and engineering branch as well. The Indian Army has been divided into 7 commands for administrative conveniences. 7 commands. So the Western Command, which is in Chandi Mandir, and in the Eastern Command it is in Kolkata. Northern Command it is in Udhampur in Kashmir. Southern Command is in Pune, which is in Maharashtra. And along with that, you have Central Command. Central Command is in Lucknow. Northern Command is not in Lucknow. Central Command is in Lucknow. And after this, you have Northwest Command, which is in Jaipur. And then you have Training Command. You have in Mauv in Madhya Pradesh. Now, each of this command, now whatever we are discussing, that will also be very, very important. Now we have seen that there will be 7 commands, right? So each of this command is under, each command is under general officer. So that officer is commander-in-chief. General officer is commander-in-chief, and their ranking will be of lieutenant general. So if there is lieutenant general, then they are heading the whole command of one subdivision. That is, there are 7 commands, right? So of one command, they are holding the they are heading. So these army commands are again divided into areas and sub areas. So this command, let us take one command. So this command are divided again into areas, and then they have sub areas as well. areas also they have, and they also have sub areas. I'll just wipe it out so that it will be easy for me to write down also. So areas, they have areas and sub areas. So these areas and sub areas are headed by major general. And in case of areas, in case of sub areas, it is brigadier. So who is brigadier? They are heading the sub area in one particular command. So I hope you have understood till here. Let us move on to the next question. Which of the following pairs about Indian Army training centers is incorrect? Here the answer is B. Defense Personnel College is in Ooty. It is not in Kolkata, it is in Ooty. So there are some of the important training centers. So these important training centers are NDA, which is National Defense Academy, which is in Pune. This is correct. Then there is Defense Personnel College. It is in Ooty. So it is in Ooty. It is in Wellington, near Ooty. So next one is National Defence College. It is in Delhi. Then there is Indian Military Academy, which is in Dehradun. Along with that, there is also Officers Training School. And this Officers Training School is in Chennai. So now the main responsibility of the army itself is to protect the land. It is to protect the land. That is what we saw in the first question also, right? And its sovereignty against attacks by the foreign nations. So defense has a great influence on our geography also, and on political aspects, social aspects, and then technical environments as well. So they play a major role. In case of natural calamities also, they play very, very important role. So let us move on to the fourth question. Which of the following is not Indian Naval Command? Here the answer is D. None of the above. So all of them are Naval Command. As we have seen, in case of Indian Navy, so India has one of the world's largest coastline, and there are oceans. There are a lot of oceans in the world, right? But there is only one ocean which is named after country. So that is our Indian Ocean. So in that case, Indian Ocean is that important for us also in order to protect, because there are continuous attacks from different countries as well. And if we become vulnerable there, then there will be definitely attacks from that particular point. So because of that only, we need a strong naval force in order to protect the islands also, which is Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and we have Lakshadweep Islands as well in the coast, and also the mainland. So it protects all the mainland, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and also your Lakshadweep. Is protected. So this is headed by Admiral. We have seen Admiral. So under Admiral, there are various officers. That is, there is Vice Admiral, then there is Rear Admiral, then there is Commander, then there is Captain, then there is Lieutenant Commander. In case if it is Lieutenant General, that is Army. In case it is Lieutenant Commander, it is Navy. Then there is Lieutenant, and then there is Sub-Lieutenant. So now our Navy itself, or our Naval Command itself, has three commands. In case of Army, we had 7, right? In case of Navy itself, we have 3 commands. One is, so if you look like this, then one is here in Mumbai, which is to protect the western part, and one in the Visakhapatnam or Vizag, which is in the eastern part, and the other one is here in Cochin, in order to protect the southern part. Along with that, in Karwar also we have our naval base, which is INS Kadamba. we have INS Kadamba. So this came after 1971. After 1971, that is liberation of Bangladesh liberation war. After that only we understood that only Mumbai will not be enough in order to protect the western side. We need another one as a backup, which is INS Kadamba, which is in Karwar in Karnataka. Now, in case of army, we have seen the training centers. In case of navy also, we have to see the navy training centers of the navy. So, in case of navy, there are two training centers. One is in Kerala, and the second one is in Maharashtra. One is in Kerala and second one is in Maharashtra. Let us move on to the next question. Which among the following is not a warship of Indian Navy? Which is not a warship of Indian Navy? Here the answer is B. Others, INS Nilagiri, Himagiri, Godavari, these all are warships of Indian Navy. Then what is INS Vanduvarti? Now just now we have seen that there are two training centers of Indian Navy. One we saw, it is in Kerala, and the other we saw, which is in Maharashtra. So the one which is in Kerala is INS Vanduvarti, and the one which is in Maharashtra, it is INS Shivaji. So I hope you have understood about this also. INS Shivaji, it is in Lonavala. Let us move on to the next question. Which of the following is not Indian Air Force operational commands? So again, it is related to the Air Force commands. We have seen commands of Navy also. We have seen commands of Army also. Now this is related to the Air Force commands. Which is not the Air Force commands? Here the answer is C. That is, Central Command is not in Lucknow. So if we look at the commands, then there are 5 commands over here. 5 commands of Indian Air Force. So the first one is Western Command, which is in New Delhi. Second one is Eastern Command. Eastern Command is in Shillong. Third one, Central Command. Central Command is not in Lucknow. It is in Allahabad, which is given in Uttar Pradesh, but it is Prayagraj, correct? So the fourth one is Northwest Command. It is in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. Then last one is Southern Command. Southern Command is in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. Along with that, there are functional command. One is Training Command, which is in Bangalore, Karnataka, which is training command. And the second one is Maintenance Command. Maintenance Command is in Nagpur, Maharashtra. So one which we are having in Bangalore is a training command. Along with this, there are different types of aircrafts also, and the different types of aircrafts are being added also. So the latest one we have seen, there is Rafale from which we have got from the France, and then there is MiG, then there is Sukhoi. We have got a lot of aircrafts, and we have got Chinook helicopters from US, and then we have Sukhoi from Russia, etc. So all of these things we will be updating from time to time. On the same basis, there will be training provided for the Air Force also. So these training centers, one is there in Bangalore and the other one is there in Hyderabad as well. There are 2 training centers also. So under this, there will be special training centers, and there will be special training officers, and they will be providing the trainings for all the future flyers in case of Indian Air Force. So let us move on to the next question. Consider the following pairs: Indian Coast Guard 1978, Border Security Force 1965, and then you have Home Guards in 1946, Red Cross in 1920, National Cadet Corps in 1948. Here, which of the above are correctly matched? All of these are factual, but all of these are correctly matched. So now, other than the Indian Army, Air Force and Navy, we have something called as second line of defense. We have second line of defense. Now, besides this armed forces, these organizations are called a second line of defense. In that, the first one is you have territorial army. Second one is you have NCC, National Cadet Corps. Then you have coastal guard, you have coastal guard. Then you have border security force, border security force. Fifth one you have civil defense. Sixth one you have home guards. Seventh one we have red cross. Seventh one we have red cross. Now in case of territorial army, they are voluntary part-time forces. That is, during the case of emergencies they come into play. For example, in case of natural calamities, they are territorial armies. So this was established by the Parliament Act in 1949. So this was established by the Parliament Act in 1949, and it has no professional soldiers but only civilians who are eager to play the role in defense and give military training in spare time. So they are taken, and the age group is 18 to 42. Whoever is eligible to join, they can join. So we also observe 3rd Saturday of November as National Army Day. Territorial Army Day. In case of NCC, which is National Cadet Corps, this is mainly youth organization of the country, which was established in 1948. Now this is related to the school and college going students who can join this organization on voluntary basis. Now its aim is to develop the students, among the students only, the sense of discipline, leadership qualities, friendliness, service mindedness, etc. Now there are two units in NCC also. In this there are two units. One is at the school level, which is the junior unit. There is junior unit, and one is senior unit. Senior unit is at college level and the junior unit is at school level. Okay, so whoever has received the NCC training, they can join armed forces easily, and if they have got distinction during their training, then they get seats in the professional colleges also, and they are giving training in handling weapons, and during the training they also go for trekking, hiking, scaling, mountaineering, etc. So the students who have this NCC training certificate, they can also get admission into the defense school as well. So that is related to NCC. Then we have Indian Coast Guard. Very, very important. Indian Coast Guard. So it is a paramilitary force. Which was formed in 1978. So Indian Coast Guard, as the name itself says, they look at the protection of the coast, because we have a long coastline, right? 7,516 kilometers, which is a long coastline. So in order to protect this long coastline, we have the Indian Coast Guards. So there are different ships also of Indian Coast Guards. For example, there is Vijay, there is Veera, then there is Vikram, etc. So these are to protect the coasts of India. In case of BSF stands for Border Security Force. This was established in 1965. Now they keep a watch exactly on the borders itself. So they keep exactly watch on the border itself. So they have the training center in Yelahanka in Bangalore, and they have successfully prevented the transgression from our borders and illegal entry of foreigners and smuggling, etc. So during the threats of internal security, there are again different divisions. For example, there is soldiers from Assam Rifles, Indo-Tibetan Border Force. Then there is Central Reserve Police Force. Then there is National Security Guards. Then there is CISF. Then Railway Protection Force, etc. They all assist BSF. So what happens if BSF is in the let's say India-Pakistan border, and in case of northeast, wherever we are having the borders, at that place we have Assam Rifles who are protecting. And in case of this China border, and in case of India, in that particular place there is Indo-Tibetan border force, and we also have CRPF, National Security Guard, etc. So all of these on collaborative basis, they protect the borders. Other than this, there is a civil defense. So the main aim itself is the protection of life of civil citizens in this case, in case of civil defense. And also you have home guards. So they are also voluntary forces, which was established in 1946 in order to help the local police in curbing communal clashes. For example, in case of home guards, I'll tell you an example of Bangalore only. So there were a lot of chain snatching incidents which were happening in Bangalore. So because of that, the areas which were vulnerable to chain snatching, in the entrance of that particular area and in the exit of that particular area. You'll be having two officers who are standing. They are called as home guards. They'll check who is entering in. They'll check who is entering this particular area, who is entering in the bike, who is exiting in the bike, etc. So all these are taken care by the home guards. Then there is Red Cross Society, which is both national and international organization, and in India it was passed by Indian Parliament, passed the act, and it was established in 1920. So this is a humanitarian voluntary organizations. So they have different branches and it is headquartered in New Delhi also. So these were some of the important points with respect to Defence Force of India. I hope you have understood a lot of details about Indian military. So at the end of this e-paper, there are a few more multiple choice questions for you to answer. You can attempt those. Thank you. I'll see you soon in the next one.